Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, my apologies for going live a bit late. Stinker and hooked by Alf, my apologies. I forgot I had to go live, actually. Let me just set up a poll quickly. I should have done this before going live, but I forgot I was going live. So, here we are. Let me set up this poll. Fan of the match. I'll make it between Marmoush and I'll see a lot of Savio hype, so I'll make it Savio. And I guess third choice. There we go. There we go. Full setup. Beautiful. So, we won. Hey, a win is a win. A win is a win, is always what I say. And we won. First half was diabolically bad, I can't lie. But I don't care. Listen, I don't care that the first half was bad, because first of all, we completely rested. None of these players are starting against Real Madrid, I imagine. So, we rested, but started, which I'm happy about. And second of all, we did play a good second half. Before any substitutions, we played a good second half. So even yes, first half wasn't good, second half was, and the goal we conceded, let's be honest, it was a very good goal as well. Sometimes you just have to admit, hey, they scored a banger. So, I'm happy with the game. I'm happy with the game. So we'll go through the players as always, and yeah, we'll just go through the players one by one. No points waffling here. First player is James Trafford. I don't know about Trafford, to be honest. He played good. He played good, but I feel like a lot of people are hyping up Trafford to have done great. I think Trafford was okay. He was okay. Comfortable 7 out of 10. Didn't have a lot to do. Didn't have a lot to do. Listen. When you're the goalkeeper, sometimes you just have to get rated of what you did, even though what you did might not be a lot. So, Trafford made 2 easy saves. Yeah. Didn't have much else to do. Passing was good, but we know that of Trafford. We know that the passing will be there, it will be good, and he'll move the ball around comfortably. We know that, so no surprises there. But it's not like this passing, like this is the thing with Trafford's passing. We know it's gonna be good, but it's not like it changes the game, let's be honest. It doesn't really change the game. It's not Ederson level good passing, it's good. But I feel like people exaggerate about this type of stuff, about how much impact it has, about what difference it can make on a team. I think he was okay. I see a lot of people with very specific narratives saying, oh, Trafford was so good, we should start benching Donnarumma. And these are not people who watch this game and then see Trafford and then conclude we need to play Trafford. These are people who already want Donnarumma benched, and they use this game as confirmation bias, I suppose. Even when I don't think this game really showed anything for Trafford to start. So it's annoying, because he plays a good game, and I immediately have to add that caveat. He plays a good game, but... And the reason you have to do that is our fan base. It is because our fan base sees a player play a good game, immediately they are out of the woodwork, they're slandering other players. So when I praise Trafford, I'm not adding that caveat because I hate Trafford. But you just have to add it. Because otherwise, people are gonna start slandering Donnarumma. Oh, start Donnarumma. And I'm like, just appreciate a okay game where he didn't have much to do. Okay passing, good passing even. Just appreciate it. He's a very solid cup goalkeeper. That's all I can say. 7 out of 10 for me. Didn't do too much other than the 2 saves. Passing was fine, but that's about it. We had a good win And that is it. Newcastle also didn't play their best team. No Gordon, no Murphy. I'm assuming you mean Paul Murphy. Is that his name? Paul Murphy, right? They've got two Murphys, the black one and Alex Murphy. Jacob Murphy, that's the black guy's name. Yeah, no Jacob Murphy. No Bruno. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes has been injured for a while, hasn't he? Cup goalkeeper. Yeah, I mean, it was an okay performance. It was an okay performance. I think when people sit here saying we destroyed this amazing Newcastle team, I'm like, huh? Like, listen, they played pretty much the same lineup that they played against Man United. And that was a very intense, tough game. And that lineup has a few holes in it. They've got injuries, so when we get to rest and play a very strong rotational side, by the way, having Husanov completely rested, Gonzalez completely rested, Marmoush completely rested, like that matters. I think people maybe undervalue how big of a difference that makes when we get to come in here with a fully rotated side and they don't. But that's going to impact how we play against Madrid. But I suppose I'm getting ahead of myself. Trafford was mid-table, by the way. It was mid, so I don't know where I read table there. Trafford was mid, by the way. I think that's a bit harsh. Didn't make any saves. Passing was mid too. That's just not true. The passing was good. The passing was good. That's just not true. Could have stopped Barnes' goal too. Donnarumma could have stopped Barnes'. I think Donnarumma stops that shot. That is what I agree. I think Donnarumma stops that shot. I don't think a lot of goalkeepers make that save. Donnarumma stops that shot. Not a lot of goalkeepers do. 6 out of 10 for Trafford. Why are you being so harsh on Trafford? Why are you being so harsh on Trafford, bruv? I think you're being harsh on Trafford, not gonna lie. I think you're just slandering Trafford for no reason. Is Luke here yet? Is Luke here yet? This is not Sky Blue Thursday. Luke is only on my channel on Sky Blue Thursday. Otherwise, he's here. Anyhow, Nathan Ake. Bit mixed that game for Ake, I think. I think he made some very good interceptions. It just doesn't work in a high line. He's too old for it. He's too slow. He doesn't have the pace anymore. So when you put him in a high line, he does get exposed. But when he plays up the pitch, he has proper quality here. He has proper quality. I do believe that. Even at his old age, he still has that quality. He never mistimed something. He's so good with the interceptions. His passing is so solid. But in a high line, you don't play him in a high line, do you now? That is my problem with Ake. It's not that he's a bad player. It's that it doesn't work for this high-intensity system anymore. And we're going to keep this high-intensity system because that is the best way to win games in modern football, with a lot of intensity behind it. And I feel like centre-backs especially get like maybe punished for that because they have to keep in this high line and they have to be quick. And when that pace starts to sap a bit, I feel like they get punished very harshly for not being able to keep up there. So I think that's maybe a bit unfair on centre-backs in modern football. But I mean, he played as a left-back in this game, but that's another thing. I don't think he works as a left-back in our current system. Because our left-backs, they don't just have to be good attacking. Defending. They have to be good attacking. They have to be good passing, which I do think Ake is, to be fair. They have to be good general play. They have to be good in everything, basically. They basically have to be good in everything, which Ake isn't. A left back, basically, at Man City, is a midfielder who's more comfortable with defending and maybe a little bit less technical. That's what a Man City fullback is at this point. And you can see that. You look at our right back, a literal midfielder. Not quite good enough with the passing, the technicality to play in a Man City midfield. But he is a midfielder, and he plays at right back. Because he's got that superior defending, superior athleticism. You look at our left back, O'Reilly, and you get a bit of the same story there. You've got that superior athleticism. You've got an actual midfielder who's maybe not got the technical ability yet, or the experience, I suppose, to play in that midfield. But he does have that defensive ability, which does make him then valuable at left back. So our fullbacks are closer to midfielders than they are to centre backs. I think if you look at, for example, Fulham with Kenny Tete, their fullbacks are, they go up the pitch, they provide attacking, but they're closer to centre backs than they'll be to midfielders. I feel like with us, our fullbacks are closer to midfielders than they are to centre backs, and that also just doesn't suit Ake. So I don't think Ake was terrible, but he has to go. Like it's that simple. He was okay. It's nice to have an older player to play these kind of games. Yeah, I think that a 5 out of 10 is a bit harsh, but I'll give him a 6. He didn't really convince me. I'll give him a 6. And I mean, again, it's nice to have older players who can still help in these kind of games. The centre-back partnership. I like to rate my centre-backs as a pairing, as a partnership. So that means together. I don't think either one of them stood out from the other. I think Husnov stood out defensively and Stone stood out on the ball. But as a collective package, I think they worked really well as a collective, actually. So, together, I really like the way they played. I don't like Husnov too much at left centre-back, to be honest. I prefer him at right centre-back. It's just because when you defend on your weaker foot, it can be... your instincts can be wrong. Like, of course, if you're more experienced, a lot of players do that better, but Husnov is not all that experienced. So, I don't know. I don't quite like him playing at left centre-back. Worked in this game, but for example, if you play against Real Madrid with Husnov left centre-back, I don't know why you would. You'd play the way he did. But let's say you do. That won't work, right? So, I just don't like him. I just don't like him in that position. I think it's not the best position for him to play in. I'd much rather him on the right back or right centre-back. Stones, who was our captain, actually. Stones was our captain for this game, which I think is fine. He played okay. He played, I think, defensively he was still okay. Passing-wise, brilliant. We'll talk about his through ball later. But I'd rather talk about that through ball he made in the context of someone else, but... yeah, you just see the level of passing on this guy. It's ridiculous. For the centre-back, that's ridiculous passing range, isn't it? Centre-back should not be that good passing-wise, really. So, I'll give them both as a pair. I'll give them... I'll give them... 7.5. I think I'll give them 7.5. I'll give them 7.5. Kusanov is low post. Like, how does he not start every game? His recovery pace is mad. Easy 8.5 out of 10. He doesn't start every game because we have very good... first of all, he doesn't play left centre-back. I mean, he played left centre-back here, but... you don't want this guy starting left centre-back. That's just not where he's best. I feel like he makes more mistakes when he does that, especially on the ball. He makes more mistakes when he... plays there. I feel like the instincts are a bit wrong, and I just don't like playing a centre-back on their weak foot when an experienced centre-back, should I preface, on their weak foot, because that's how you get a lot of these issues, bro. I can't lie. Stones is the second dinosaur, but his passing isn't. Yeah, pretty much. But it's fine though, because you have Guzanov there with that pace. And Stones a bit slower, but very experienced, good up the pitch, good passing-wise, good interceptions. I think that works as a pair. Nunez didn't do much defending. Also kind of mid, but Barnes, to be fair. Yeah, I think Barnes is just such a good player as well. I'll take Harvey Barnes in a heartbeat. Guys, I will take Harvey Barnes. I will take Harvey Barnes at Man City. I don't know if you would, but I will take him at Man City. But getting cooked by Harvey Barnes, by the way, he didn't get cooked that bad. He did not get cooked that bad, by the way. Let's not pretend this guy got rinsed piece for piece, got torn up. He didn't. He didn't get rinsed that badly, let's be honest. He played, he held his own. So, I think getting cooked by Barnes is not a crime. And even if it is, I don't think he did that badly, to be honest. He also got an assist. What goal did he assist? I can't remember. I know he got an assist somewhere. I think it was the second goal. I think it was the second goal that he assisted, and I can't remember, to be honest. But I know he got an assist, so I can't remember which goal he assisted, but he did also get an assist, so... going forward, he was pretty decent. A few of his crosses I feel like could have been better by his own standards, but I think a 7.5 is a bit low. I'll go with 8. I'll give him an 8, to be honest. So... Ooh, what midfielder do I talk about first? Gonzalez or O'Reilly? I feel, you know what this year with O'Reilly? Yeah, when O'Reilly plays in midfield there, I feel like O'Reilly's role is being taken over a little bit by Gonzalez. When O'Reilly plays, because what does O'Reilly do in midfield? He covers for Rodri. Rodri wants to go forwards. O'Reilly comes back, holds the midfield. Rodri comes back, O'Reilly goes up. So when you have Gonzalez there, I feel like half the O'Reilly role is being taken away. Which is that defensive part. And that physical beast part. Now he just becomes a 8. Box to box. A 10. I'm not quite sure what he becomes when Gonzalez plays next to him. I think he plays well in the midfield. But I'm not sure what his role is when Gonzalez is in that midfield. Especially when Tijani is the 10. Like maybe if you have Foden deeper 8 and then O'Reilly further up short. But I don't know what this guy's role is in this specific midfield. Not to criticize him, I think he's a very good player, O'Reilly. I just didn't know what his role was in this game, to be honest. I think he played a pretty poor game. He was just he didn't play poorly, he just didn't have an impact. He was invisible. I don't think he made any big passes. I don't think he didn't provide much threat going forward. He didn't do that much defensively either. You talk about the physicality he provides in midfield. I don't think he did much there either. He was just there. So it's difficult to say, what I rate him at, because I don't think it's an O'Reilly problem. I think that's just the way we played. And the way Pep lined up. I don't think that's an O'Reilly thing, but at the same time, he didn't do anything. I can't give him a high rating, so I guess I'd give him a 6.5, to be honest. 8 out of 10 for the Nunez then. There we go. We got you to come around to your senses. O'Reilly did nothing. Just on the pitch, running like road run. That's a bit harsh. But I do feel like he didn't do a whole. I feel like Gonzalez, who, by the way, was brilliant. We'll talk about him in a second. I feel like Gonzalez takes that role away from O'Reilly. That defensive midfield role. And that just strong physical midfielder. And then O'Reilly's just there. Especially when Tijani is also just there, and I feel like he's not connective tissue. Like, you know what I mean with that. Like, you have Fernandinho and Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah? And then Gundogan is your your connective tissue. You know what I mean? Gundogan will link up De Bruyne with Fernandinho. He'll connect that midfield. He'll kind of control the tempo of the game. That type of stuff, right? And I feel like that's not really the type of player O'Reilly is. Maybe it is. Hey, maybe Pep sees something in him in that role, but I don't really think that's O'Reilly. So I don't even know if that was supposed to be his role today. I'm quite confused what O'Reilly's job was in the game. That's the main thing for me. It's not that he played poorly per se. I just don't quite know what he was meant to do. So Gonzalez, I think, played a brilliant game. This is the thing with Gonzalez. He's just so good defensively. I don't think people rep that enough. When a player just does those defensive shifts for you, Gonzalez does shifts, man. Gonzalez does shifts. He will control the ball for you. He will sit back for you. He will stop you from conceding counters. He will take that foul when it needs to be made. Not specifically that game, but if it has to be done, he won't lose the ball. Like, he will not progress the ball, but he won't lose it. He'll just hold up. That's the most important thing. He'll just hold up. He'll slow the game down because he can't speed it up. That's just the way he just always has to pass sideways or backwards. He'll slow the game down. But I think that's a good thing, because that way you take the sting out of a game. When Gonzalez has the ball, it already means you've been under a lot of pressure. You don't get counted. I think he's just such a good player in a very limited role. But that allows you to do so. Because he is so specialized in that defensive role and that slow passing role, you can... When you have Gonzalez, you can just put 5 attacking-minded players in front of him and go nuts. That's what you can do. Cherki, Foden, Tijani, Semenyo, Haaland, just 5 random attacking-minded players. Boom, go, do something, and then Gonzalez can stay back. And that's the value of Gonzalez. Now, I don't think that's the most optimal way to play, and I think Gonzalez is far from a finished product. He'll probably become more like Rodri as he continues to improve at Man City. But for what he provides now, I think it allows you to play the direct style of football we've played a lot this season. Now, I don't think that means you need to bench Rodri to play him. I think you just put Rodri as an 8, to be honest. Because when Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, he was the 8. He wasn't the 6. He was the 8 in the Ballon d'Or season. So, I think Gonzalez and Rodri together would work really well. Of course, Pep doesn't want to do that. I think we look a lot better with Gonzalez, because Gonzalez is limited, which kind of forces us to change the system. But it ends up being a better system. And Rodri can't do that, I think, because he's just back from an ACL, and he's not as defensively strong, I believe. He's way better on the ball, he's way better going forward, but defensively, I don't think he's quite as strong. So, I don't think you can play the same way. I think you can be better with Rodri on that pitch, because you'll have Rodri, O'Reilly, and they compensate each other. And then up top in midfield, you can do something else, right? But that's not what we've been doing. We've been putting Bernardo there in that midfield, which I don't think quite works for that specific combination of midfielders. But oh well. Beggars can't be choosers. Bernardo, by the way, I'm happy he got rested. I want him to start at Bernabeu. Bernardo should be starting big games, so it's a good thing he got rested. But yeah, in this game specifically, held up to midfield. I think he's a big reason why we played a good second half. Because you can trust him to just hold the midfield down and allow all the players to go up without too much worry of what happens behind them. Of course, you have to come back, defend, all that, yada yada. But when you have Gonzalez there, it does help out so much, I believe. So Gonzalez, for me, I'll give him a 8.5. I think he played a very, very good game. 8.5. Gonzalez has to play more. Wait. Gonzalez has to play more because he is so good. Nobody gets through us. Well, that's not quite true. But yeah, I agree. He has to play a lot more. He has to, I don't get why Gonzalez gets shrugged so often. I don't get it, to be honest. He's a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player, let's be honest. So why does he get shrugged onto the bench so often? Honestly, I can't tell you. I can't tell you, I have no idea. I mean, I can tell you, that's a lie. Because Pep wants to play Bernardo Silva. And you can't have Bernardo, O'Reilly, and Rodri. You can't have Bernardo, Gonzalez, and Rodri. It just doesn't work. So, Gonzalez has to get dropped. And Pep doesn't want to play Gonzalez and Rodri together. I'm not sure why not, but he doesn't want to do it. So that's why he gets shrugged. Because Rodri is better. I just play him with Rodri, to be honest, but Pep doesn't want to do that, so that's why. I'd play him together with Rodri, but that's not what Pep wants to do. Doku. First game back. Played a pretty good game, I think. He was awful in the first half. Let's get that out of the way. I don't think he did anything in that first half. He assisted the Savio goal, of course, which was a brilliant assist. And then he disappeared for the rest of the first half. Second half, he was a lot better, he was a lot more calm. I like Doku when he's a bit calm. Like when he gets into that final third, it can be erratic, sure. But before the final third, yeah, when you're just playing the ball around, circulating possession, he needs to calm down sometimes. And I think in the second half, he was a lot calmer than in the first half. So it was a much more mature performance in the second half, I suppose. I think he was okay. I don't think there was anything too low, boss, but he did get that brilliant assist. For which I will be adding context later again, by the way. He did get that brilliant assist, so I think he deserves an 8. I think he deserves an 8. I think he played a solid 7 out of 10 game. And then he did that brilliant assist, which deserves to raise him to an 8. And just getting backsman GA in there. I like our attack. Just needs to keep the back line and midfield solid. And we are good. Which again is what I think Gonzalez does. You put Gonzalez there. You make sure your back four is just solid. Just solid. Doesn't have to be great. Just solid. And put Gonzalez there in midfield. Now you can throw 5 attacking minded players on the pitch. Voila. Do what you like. There you go. Yeah, I think with I think when we play with Rodri, that it's not the Rodri that's the problem, it's Bernardo. When you have Gonzalez and Bernardo, it works. Rodri and Bernardo and O'Reilly doesn't work in my opinion. So it's not any one specific player, yeah? It's a combination of players. I shouldn't say it's Bernardo, that's not true either. It's the combination of Bernardo, Rodri, and O'Reilly, which I just don't think works, to be honest. But Pep is going to do Pep things. Doku was okay. Good assist and some stuff, but didn't do much, only just back. So I disagree. It did do quite a lot. It was all over the pitch. I I disagree with didn't do much. I think he did too much sometimes. You can do too much, by the way. Sometimes I think he wasn't. Sometimes I think he was just trying too much to get something done. But I think once he got that assist, he stopped trying to get things done. You know what I mean? He just started playing maturely. Dribbling when he should dribble, passing back when he should pass back. Alf, Doku is the most important attacker we have. Our two best games he was playing, Liverpool and yesterday. No, Haaland is our most important attacker. And after that, Cherki. Jeremy Doku, listen, he's had an okay season, but this is his third season, and all he's provided is one purple patch. Granted, he's been injured, so can't blame him for it, and I don't. But he's not our most important attacker. It is Cherki, and it is Haaland, at the end of the day. Doku, listen, you can praise a player like Doku without suddenly saying they're the most important attacker on the team. Not. If he continues to improve and he can keep up a consistent form like he did during his purple patch, brilliant. And I don't say he can't do that, but he hasn't yet because of his injury. Again, I don't blame Doku for that, but you can't call someone your most important attacker when they've just been that important for you this season. He's had important moments. He's had really good games. But at no point this season would I say that he's been more important for us than Cherki or Haaland. So, no, I disagree with that. Rangers. Yeah, Cherki was almost consistently on the bench, and the chances that Cherki creates are also higher in value. So, yeah, and he also has less goals. So, the chance creation, yes, but lower quality chances. It doesn't slow the game down the way that Rangers slows down. Sorry, not Rangers. Cherki slows down the game and controls a game. He doesn't score at the rate that Cherki does, which isn't a great rate, but it's a superior rate. And before Cherki came, or before Doku was injured, Cherki was playing a lot. So I don't know. That's a bit good of an argument, in my opinion. Rangers. I see a lot of people slagging off Rangers, man. I thought he played a good game. I thought Rangers played a good game. Then I stepped outside, and with that I mean I opened Twitter, and I see man killing Rangers. I see man talking about Rangers like he's some fucking scrub from preschool. What? I was in my watch long, yeah? Rangers baller performance. Okay, you missed some chances. But Rangers, nah, this is a baller performance. Then I go Twitter, yeah? What's people saying about this man, bro? I don't get it. People just have an agenda out for Rangers, I swear to God. It's like Donnarumma. People have an agenda for Donnarumma. People have an agenda for Rangers. That's all this, because I thought he played a good game. Man was just forming the box, making the run, supporting Marmoush as a striker. His passing was okay. I won't say it was brilliant. It was okay. But he was doing that off-the-ball work in an attacking sense. Not off the ball in a defensive sense, but off the ball. Just absolute Lobos play, getting into all the positions, making all the runs that you can expect from a 10. He didn't score, which is unfortunate, but I don't know. I feel like people talk about Tijani Rangers like he's the devil or something. Just one off day for Tijani. I don't even think he had an off day. I think he had one of his better performances. I think this is one of his better performances. Yeah, he didn't score. He should have probably scored with the chances he got. But Then you get these stakes. No, Tijani is our second top scorer, right? Like, third top scorer. Foden is our second top scorer. You know, Tijani is our third top scorer, right? Like, come on. And this man has been in and out of the team, and he's our third top scorer. Soon to be overtaken, to be fair, by Savio, but Savio's got the same goal since he arrived. I feel like y'all slag off this man too much, bro. He was not bored. Look at the runs he makes, look at the positions he gets into. Look at the space he affords to his number 9, which is Marmoush in this case. Look at the way he combines with the wingers. Look at the way he anticipates for the players around him. Look at the way he puts balls into the box as well. He is a brilliant player. I feel like you're just slagging him off. I can't lie. I feel like you're just slagging him off. And then we get on to Cope, yes. Brilliant response there. Then we get on to Savio. Scored. He scored. I feel like that was Savio's best performance for us. I thought he suddenly looks faster as well. Not sure about that. I would not call that Savio's best performance for us. I thought he suddenly looks faster than before as well, or maybe that was just me. And I think it's just he's been on an injury for the last few games he played, so now he's just fully back. So I think if you compare him to when he first arrived, it's about the same. Unless you mean like faster passing wise rather than pace wise. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think that this performance by Savio is necessarily a Lobos performance. It's a good performance, don't get me wrong. Got a good ball into Tijani, which Tijani should have scored that chance, by the way. By the way, I'll give Tijani a 7. I forgot to say. Yeah, I feel like people overrate the Savio performance because he played a good game. But people take what Savio usually does, which is pretty poor. They compare that to what he did now, and they decide that this is an all-timer performance suddenly. Like, played okay. Gave some really good passes, some really good wing play. Scored a goal, was very lucky to score the goal. He was very lucky that was Ramsdale in goal and not Pope. Pope takes it out of the net. He needs to be aware that the ball is coming into him. He needs to be sharp there. That is not a goal he scores very often, let's be honest. Got lucky with the goal. And every player scores a lucky goal at some point, and you have to praise that. You have to praise being there. You have to praise the goal. But when Haaland scores a lucky goal, it's like, well, yeah, he scores 22 goals a season. When Savio scores a lucky goal, it's like, are they gonna start scoring now? Probably not. So I don't want to take away from the performance. I think he played very good. I'll give him an 8. Because he did just, his passing, his swing play was so good, but it's not like he dribbled a team and scored a goal, or that he created a chance, a brilliant chance all on his own that should have always been scored. Yeah, he should score that chance that Savio puts him in, but it's not like this is a super high quality chance that Savio created. Tijani created that chance half for himself with the run, and Savio half by the brilliant pass. It's not like this is super high level chance creation. It's good, but it's not a 9. And I feel like a lot of people, people are giving him man of the match. I don't agree with that at all. I think he was good. I don't think he was man of the match. He roasts Lewis Hall on that game. I'm not saying that he will keep his consistency, but that performance is good, but for him to keep his consent. It's a good performance, but it's not brilliant. It's a good performance, and if he plays like that every game, I'm happy. But I think people pretend that he played a brilliant game because he finally played a good game after a lot of board games. Or not playing for a long time, should I really say. He played good. I like the way he played. I like him on that right wing. He scored a goal, albeit very lucky. But I see people saying that he's man of the match. And I mean, 56% of this poll say man of the match. Just don't agree with that. Oliver, that is the channel nickname for Savio, is my favorite player now. 60 out of 10. Low-key average game, and I don't think it was average. I think it was better than average, Rosa. I think played a 7.5 out of 10. And he got a lucky goal, which makes it an 8 for me. I think it's unfair to call that an average game. But you have to caveat. It's not like he played the best game of all time. It's not like that's even his best game for Man City. He played a better game against Arsenal. You remember, Arsenal last season at the Etihad. He played better that game. He didn't score that game, but he created a proper chance that game. He was proper cooking Arsenal that game. So it's not even his best game for Man City. And I feel like people just put it super high. I don't quite get it. It's an okay game. It's a good game even, but not my man of the match if you ask me. Anyhow, I'm waffling at this point. Marmoush. Marmoush. I feel like a lot of people slag off Marmoush as well. I don't get it. I don't get why people slag off Marmoush. I mean, I do get it. They expect him to score 3 goals a game. That's why they slag him off. They expect Marmoush to be a one-man midfield every game. They expect Marmoush to beat the Super Aguero. That they expect Marmoush to be Aguero and more. They expect Marmoush to be a winger, striker, midfielder, centre back. People just have this weird expectation of Marmoush to do everything, which just isn't realistic. So, when Marmoush doesn't score, people are like, well, he didn't score. Well, yeah, did he get chances to score? People do the same thing with Haaland, yeah? Oh, but he didn't score. Get chances to score? In this game, he got chances and he scored. I feel like a lot of people just hit on Marmoush when he doesn't score, even if he doesn't get the chances. But I feel like he makes the correct runs, he makes the good passes, he does the good link-up play. He has a solid hold-up striker. He's not quite Haaland, but he's solid with hold-up. In this game specifically, I feel like he made very good use of the space that Tijani created with his runs. Every time Tijani made a run, Marmoush found that space. So yeah, I feel like he just understands how to play off someone else. Marmoush is brilliant when you give him someone to play with. When you put him next to Semenyo, no offense to Semenyo, but Semenyo is not a striker. So you put Semenyo out of position. His runs are a bit odd. They're not really. He doesn't really make the right runs because he's not a striker. So you put him in striker, he doesn't do the runs correctly, which is to be expected. So when you then have, I guess the thing is, Marmoush is a second striker. He's not a striker. I guess that's the best way to put it. He's not an out-and-out striker. Even when Haaland was injured last season, Marmoush was playing off false 9 De Bruyne. He can't play as an isolated striker. He just can't do that. But when you see him in this game, where he does have that support of the midfielder, he does brilliantly. 2 very good goals, if you ask me. Especially the second goal. I mean, what a banger. What a banger of a goal that is. And I feel like Marmoush may be underappreciated if you only look at him through the lens of on the ball. I think if you look at him of what do you do on the ball, he may be under rated. Because the pressing he does, by the way, immense pressing work. He's such a good pressing one. And the off the ball stuff, what he does attacking wise, he creates chances off the ball. He is able to manipulate center backs, manipulate defenders with his movement. And you give him someone else who can do that next to him. You let him find the spaces that are left by someone like Tijani with their runs. He will do something with it. So, when you use him correctly, I think he's brilliant. For me, he's man of the match. 9 out of 10 for me. Muad Deep deal with backup striker is supposed to do. Did his Muad Deep deal with a backup striker is supposed to do. Did his job in quite well. What? Where's Muad Deep? I don't know who Muad Deep is. Apparently it's from a game. Oh, Dune! Oh, Dune! Yeah, I'm not super into Dune. Yeah, I don't get the reference. Big up, by the way, Cyber. It's been a while since you've been on stream. Big up. Marmoush, stinker. That was not... Come on. That was not a stinker and 2 goals. Remove the 2 goals, he played good. Add the 2 goals, he was man of match. Come on. You are just hate merchants right now. Toxic and negative. Toxic and negative Rosa. That's what we're doing here. He's man of the match for me. 9 out of 10. 8 out... Yeah, sure, 8 out of 10. Fair. For me, he was man of the match. I think you need to appreciate Marmoush for what he does off the ball. Attacking-wise, running-wise, pressing-wise. I think you need to appreciate that off the ball stuff he does. Savio. Let's talk about substitutes now. Savio didn't really do much. I mean, Savio just kind of came on the pitch. Savio came on the pitch to see out the game. He came on to add energy, to press, to kill the game off. He played as a striker again, by the way, which I don't like him there. He's a very good scorer, but I don't like him in that specific role. But he played good, if you ask me. Just added the physicality that you need to see a game out. And that's what we did. We saw the game out. So I'm happy with that. It's a game of 2 halves. First half, Savio was the best player on the pitch. I don't agree. I really don't agree. I think he was very good. He was lucky to get the goal. Very lucky to get the goal. And created a few, I think created 2 or 3 chances in the first half, which is, it's a good performance. It's a good performance, but... Oh, it's a Savio thing, is it? Yeah, I didn't get the reference. Sorry, the Dune reference flew over my head, my apologies. I think we overrate the Savio performance because he's struggled a lot. I think it's like the guy who's been struggling did something good. And now we're gonna overpraise it. Very good game. He deserves his praise. 8 out of 10. Scored the goal. Brilliant playmaking. Was he man of the match? I don't think. I think Marmoush in the first half, he was still doing those runs. He was still doing that pressing for us. The pressing was insane, by the way, all game. Pressing by Marmoush, Reinders, Savio at times. O'Reilly, insane pressing off the ball. That wins you back possession and allows you to dominate the game the way we dominated the game. So, yes, Savio was good. I won't say he was the best player on the pitch in the first half. He looked the best to watch, but that's something very different. Being the most entertaining, being the best are 2 different things. So, again, I appreciate what Savio did, but I feel like people go overboard. Semenyo physicality merchant. What do you want him to do? He came on, like 3-1 up, he came on to see how the... What do you want him to do? What did Foden and Cherky do? You come on to see out a game. I don't get you, Rosa. I don't get you. Physicality merchant. Well, yeah, you need physicality. You want to see out the game, get some energy take, maybe get a goal. Because he scored a few goals. I don't know what you want from this man. You want Semenyo to be Raheem Sterling. Basically. You want Semenyo to be Raheem Sterling. All the subs didn't do anything. They barely played. There's a 6 minutes difference between when they came on, so... Okay. You know what? Agenda. I'll just call that agenda. Anyhow, very happy with the game, especially with the pressing. Do not expect us to press like that in our next game, because we won't. Because there will be a lot of changes. And we can't press like that when we don't play Gonzalez. You need Gonzalez to hold down midfield, allow for that type of pressing, for that type of pressure. When you don't have Gonzalez there, I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can get away with it. Because when you have Rodri, brilliant as he is, 1, is back from an ACL, 2, not as much of a physical beast in midfield, defensive beast as Gonzalez is. So when you get countered, Rodri, just back from ACL, he may be further up the pitch, by the way, because Rodri is so much better up the pitch that he goes up the pitch more. You can't press like that and then say, Rodri, please handle it. Because he won't. He won't. That's brilliant as Rodri is. He's not a one-man midfield. Gonzalez is a one-man midfield defensively. Going forwards, he's not. But defensively, he is pretty much a one-man midfield. So you can press harder, fight harder, go up harder, attack harder when Gonzalez is on the pitch. But against Madrid, where he won't be on the pitch, you have to change that. And I'm tired of saying it. Rodri is the better player. You should adapt for Rodri, not for Gonzalez. But that does mean you have to make some sacrifices with the way we press. How do we press exactly against Real Madrid, for example? I think against Real Madrid, we're gonna have... I think Marmoush will start. I think Marmoush after 2 goals surely starts. So we're gonna have Rodri, O'Reilly, I imagine, and Bernardo. And then we'll have Cherky, I imagine. And then we'll have the 2 strikers as Marmoush and Haaland. And I imagine we'll have Marmoush pressing. O'Reilly pressing a bit, but O'Reilly can't press as much because he has to stay back a bit more when he plays with Rodri. Bernardo will be pressing, but Bernardo is... I mean, just look at how much weaker that press is, just by the changes you make here. So the press does get a lot weaker. The press just necessarily gets a lot weaker when you throw on Rodri and Bernardo, because... again, you can't let O'Reilly push up as high when Rodri plays. Sorry, O'Reilly. And Bernardo, good player, still does a lot of the ball, but not quite as much. And Cherky isn't really a presser, so maybe if you play Foden instead of Cherky, but I'd like to play Cherky. Not quite sure how we replicate that most next game. Pep better play Gonzalez against Madrid, or else we will get cooked. No Bernardo, please. Oh my fucking god. Rosa, ask yourself this question. Think about this, Rosa. Will Pep Guardiola bench Bernardo. Just think about it. Pep says, I sleep better at night when I know Bernardo will play. Think about that question. Gonna play Bernardo. Unless I want Bernardo against Real Madrid. You say no Bernardo. I want Bernardo against Real Madrid. At the Bernabeu, I want my captain there. He's got the mentality, he's got the passion, he's got the calm, he's got the experience. I think I said that already. And he has that moments in big games. I think that Bernardo scored at the Bernabeu as well, didn't he? In the fourth week. He scored the first goal, didn't he? The 3-3. He scored the first goal. So no, I do want Bernardo there at the Bernabeu. But it means you have to change system, which is annoying. And I don't think our other system is quite as good. Not gonna be honest. Bernardo will start though, you know. We are getting cooked. Like, I think we get it. Yeah, I think we get a 1-1. I think we get a 1-1. And yeah, I think 1-1. And then at the Etihad we beat them like 2-1. Yeah, let's go conservative. 1-1 at the Bernabeu, and at the Etihad we beat them 2-1. Also, when you play away games in Europe, you want to be a bit more conservative. I don't want super direct at the Bernabeu, because that's how you get cooked. You want to talk about getting cooked? Play super direct at the Bernabeu. You'll see getting cooked. You'll get cooked playing like that. So, nah, I think you're slagging off a lot of the players too harshly today, Rosa. I think you're just in for the blood today. I can't lie, but I'm happy with the game. It's not the best game. We could have played better, but we won. And that's all that really matters, if you ask me. We won, saw out our game, got over the line. I'm happy with the way we've played. I'm happy with the way we've played. And I think that we should continue to play this way in the FA Cup. The draw is tomorrow. Play like this in our other FA Cup games. If you play like this in our other games in the FA Cup, you can 1. Rotate between the games. 2. You can really get at teams. I'm not saying the exact same lineup in these games, but this style of play I think works really well for the FA Cup, because it's just 1 knockout game straight. So it depends on your opponent, of course, and we're already in the quarterfinal. But let's say we get Brentford, or we get Southampton, or something like that. I would play the same system. I would play with Gonzalez. I would play with probably Foden, to be honest, because when's the next time he's going to get a chance to play? And I'd try to play the game like that. Rotate heavily, but still be good. Rotating heavily and still being good is such an important thing. Unless we get like Arsenal. Like if we get Arsenal, then you have to put the best 11 on. Reckon Semenyo starts over Doku against Real Madrid. I don't think either starts, to be honest. Against Real Madrid, I don't think either of them start. I think it will be Rodri. Rodri will be the 1. And then we're going to have a 3 in front of them. And it will be O'Reilly, Silva, probably Cherki. And then Haaland and Marmoush, I think. So I don't think either of them start, actually. I think they'll both be on the bench, which I'm fine with. Again, give me that control in the Bernabeu game. Give me that control. Don't be too worried about insane directness at the Bernabeu, because that's how you get cooked. Again, you don't want to go to the Bernabeu playing suicide ball. You don't want to do that. That's how you end up losing by spectacular. Anyhow, I'm starting to waffle at this point. And I'll save my Real Madrid preview. Probably today after tomorrow. I'll leave it there. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I'm not quite ending stream yet. I'm redirecting you guys over to Martin's channel, so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.